What if one day, you walked into a church and realized the funeral everyone was attending was yours? That's exactly what happened to Bruno de Almeida, a quiet man from a small village in Brazil, who one morning discovered that his friends and family were mourning his death while he was still very much alive. But what started as a shocking mix-up soon revealed a web of lies, betrayal, and an unexpected twist that no one in the village would ever forget. It was a bright Sunday morning when Bruno returned home from working in a neighboring town. He'd been away for weeks, repairing machinery at a factory. As he walked through the streets of his village, people froze. Conversations stopped. An old woman dropped her shopping bag. Someone whispered, "Is that Bruno?" Confused, he smiled awkwardly, but no one smiled back. Some even crossed themselves and turned away. When he reached his house, he found strangers gathered outside, dressed in black, with tears streaming down their faces. Inside, there was a coffin. And on the framed photo beside it was his own face. Bruno couldn't believe it. He pushed past the crowd and stared at the coffin. Inside it lay a man who looked almost exactly like him. The villagers screamed. Some fainted. His mother collapsed in tears, whispering, "It's his ghost, he's come back." Police were called. Panic spread. But Bruno insisted, "I'm alive. That's not me." No one knew what to believe. The priest clutched his rosary, trembling, saying, "Then who did we bury?" Hours later, police reopened the coffin for identification. The body was swollen and hard to recognize, but the resemblance was uncanny. In his pocket, they found an ID, Bruno's ID. How could that be? His wallet had been stolen months earlier on a bus. Could the dead man be the thief? As investigators dug deeper, they found that the man had been using Bruno's name for weeks, working odd jobs under his identity. He had even rented a small room nearby. But who was he really? Whispers began to spread, maybe Bruno had a secret twin. His mother denied it. But one elderly villager remembered something strange. She said she'd seen Bruno's mother at the hospital twice when he was born, once in the morning, and once again that night. Could it be that she'd given birth to twins and kept it secret all these years? When questioned, she broke down crying. She confessed that she had indeed given birth to 2 boys, but one was declared dead shortly after birth. The doctors said there was nothing they could do. She never even got to see his face. But now, that dead twin had grown up somewhere, somehow, and lived using his brother's identity. A DNA test confirmed it. The man in the coffin was Bruno's twin brother. Separated at birth, abandoned, and raised in another town by strangers, he lived a difficult life. After years of struggle, he returned to the same village, unknowingly crossing paths with his real family. But fate played a cruel game. One rainy night, while working at a construction site, he fell from a scaffold and died, carrying his brother's stolen ID in his pocket. The authorities mistook him for Bruno, and the funeral was arranged. Days later, Bruno stood again in that same church, this time, truly attending the funeral of a man he never met, yet somehow shared his very blood. As the coffin was lowered, Bruno whispered, "Maybe you were meant to come home first." The whole village stood in silence, no longer in fear, but in awe of the strange ways destiny connects us. After the funeral, Bruno moved away to start anew. But every year, on that same day, he returned to place flowers on his brother's grave. He often said, "I attended my own funeral, and it taught me that life is fragile, but family, even the ones we never kay." What would you do if you walked into your own funeral? Would you laugh? Cry? Or question everything you thought you knew about life and fate? Tell me what you'd do in the comments below. If you love real-life mysteries and emotional true stories, make sure to subscribe to Daytime Tales for more unbelievable but true stories every week.